So Charlie, can you explain the meaning behind Panel of Glass?
Panel of Glass, we started writing it after a conversation I had with Ashley, the bass player, and we were just kind of talking about how our childhood experiences affect the way we are now, and it made me think back to a conversation I had with my dad when I was about 9 about, it was shortly after my grandmother had died, and we were sat in a car and it was raining, and it was kind of the first time I'd ever been confronted with the idea of death or mortality, and I was kind of struggling to understand it and why things would just happen like that. And he kind of explained life to me in the idea of it being like a droplet on a panel of glass, and you never know at which point the direction will change, and he literally kind of was pointing to it, and that conversation really stuck with me because it was kind of a weirdly accurate visualization of the chaos of life and how it creates these intricate, beautiful patterns that are, you don't know why something awful is going to happen, but you don't know why that's going to lead to something beautiful. And so yeah, it made me realise that the relevance of that conversation to me today. It made me think of all the different things that happened in that sense. So lyrically, that was the starting point, and it's fairly explicit in the song, literally talking about that conversation. And then when we started playing it, Philip played this piano part, which kind of, to me, sounded like drops of rain, and everything's just really delicate, and it was trying to create that atmosphere with music. And then when we took it to the band, that's when I kind of realised that the second half of it, I wanted it to zoom out from my personal perspective, like me and my dad having this conversation, and I wanted to zoom out, and that's when in the lyrics it says, "See the pattern emerge everywhere as you look into the sky," and I wanted the pattern on the glass to represent the kind of pattern of chaos and the pattern of life in the way that you see similar patterns throughout nature, like in spiderwebs or trees or star constellations or in human cells. You see that these patterns emerge again and again because of chaos. And it was kind of inspired by the Mandelbrot set, which is the mathematical equation for, which is they call it like the God equation, because you randomly input data into this equation and you get these beautiful endless patterns. So it's kind of that idea of from chaos comes order, and yeah, in the second half of the song, I wanted to kind of musically zoom from, if it were a camera shot, kind of move away from this intimate setting into the sky, and then the idea was to just kind of traject the audience musically into this endless space and time and seeing these endless patterns, and it was definitely quite kind of psychedelic imagery and everything's moving and it's quite overwhelming, and then we reach this moment of madness towards the end. It builds to this moment of just absolute noise and this kind of intense ecstatic release, and then we brought right back down to back into the car with me and my dad and just us and the panel of glass. And I guess it's kind of also kind of exploring the imagination of like a young child or a young mind, where you have that ability to just, you give an idea and it just takes you to somewhere as crazy as that, and then you're back. So that's kind of what the song means to me.
And how would you describe the recording process in comparison to other songs you may have recorded in the past?
I think this is still, for me, and I reckon for the whole band, still the most exciting recording process we had. Our producer brought in a Space Echo hardware that we kind of became massively integrated into what we were doing. In the second verse, we had these fragments of guitar that we were kind of just randomly bringing in bits of feedback that kind of became the feature. And it's kind of like making the song become more and more sort of conceptual as it goes on, from quite a stark real place at the start, and then trying to get it towards that chaos. There was a lot of experimenting with the noise section, which was really exciting because we didn't know how it was going to sound live. We'd done quite a lot of different ideas, messing with like how much do we actually play notes and how much are we just playing randomness. And then it was the first time where, as a band, we've properly explored mixing electronic ideas and synth ideas and the live band stuff. And on this one, we were just really lucky that it worked perfectly straight away, and we didn't really have any problems, and all the things that we had in our head for how we wanted it to sound kind of came true. So really happy with it.